with Una from the Crypt. I don't even know what I'm saying. What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative, a channel that contains all sorts of fun, bookish things, science fiction, fantasy, manga, comic, horror related. My name is Leslie Smith. Today I'm bringing you my weekly wrap up for all of the fantastic things that I read last week. Part of the Nerdy Narrative family, welcome back. I missed you. If you're new, as you go through this video, if you enjoy what you're seeing, please consider subscribing, hit that like button, drop me a comment, let me know you're here. I would love to get to know you better. If nothing else, thank you for being here today and supporting my little channel. Announcements. I have finally taken the plunge and created a Discord server for the channel. So if you would like to stop by over there and check in with me, tell me about your day, come see what I'm reading, tell me what you're reading, just a way for all of us to communicate together as a family. It's in its baby stages right now. That's just gonna be something that gets built, as we move forward together and decide what we wanna do with the channel and all of that kind of fun stuff. So the link to the Discord will be in the description box if you would like to come by and join. I'm also going to be creating a Patreon in order to try and raise money for a camera since I use my phone. If you've been around a while, you will see random videos that just look like garbage. That's because I mess up the settings on my phone all the time. First thing on the list is a camera, if I can keep from buying books with it. No promises, but I'll show you the books when I get them. So for the month of July, I have started off each morning reading one of the volumes from the Inuyasha manga, and I'm reading these as a buddy read with Una from the Codex Cantina. I have been a longtime fan of the Inuyasha anime. I have the entire series on DVD and Blu-ray, as well as all 4 of the movies. Reading the series has been a blast. It's actually given me the desire to watch the series yet again. I have been enjoying reading the series so much more than I really anticipated that I would. So each of the volumes is pretty short. They're about 190 pages long, so Una and I are easily knocking out one every morning and discussing it with each other. My standpoint is pure enjoyment, and he is providing a lot of information about the Japanese culture and customs and their beliefs. So now I'm learning more about why particular characters may have an attribute. It's been very interesting getting his take on that side of things, and it just has really just rounded out this story for me and just made it that much more enjoyable. The next thing I got up to last week is I read the Dark One comic by Brandon Sanderson. This one is one that was available for pre-order a few weeks ago, and I'm not quite certain, I'm a little confused about it. This is chapter 1, and he has the complete graphic novel coming out in August 2020, and this says free comic book day, so I'm not sure if this is just a little excerpt for me to have while waiting on the one that's coming out in August 2020, or if the pre-order was for chapter 1 only. Not real clear on that. In true Sanderson fashion, it has a prologue. But don't worry, there's only one. Chapter 1 didn't really give me enough information for me to determine if this is going to be something I am going to enjoy. I'm really going to have to wait and get my hands on the graphic novel to make that determination. And while we're on the subject of Brandon Sanderson, I am still continuing my read along with the Storm Along 2020 group. I haven't been reading it every day like I had previously. I was trying to read about 20-25 pages per day. I didn't do that last week. I've actually only read a couple of chapters. I'm currently at chapter 37, so I have a few days to hurry up and catch up to chapter 55 for the next live show next week. Every time I pick this book up to read more, it's such an enjoyable journey. I constantly discover new things, taking so much more notice of things this time around, so many things I missed the first time. I can't believe that there are a lot of people out there who never reread books. It's like the first time I read it, I'm just so excited about it, or I'm just really into it. I just fly through it and I miss so much. I reread everything. The only book I ever read one time was Great Expectations. Literally every other book I've ever read, I've read more than once. This book is fantastic. It has been a wonderful journey, made even better by going through it with tons of new friends. It's not too late to join in. Thursday, July 16th is the next live show. We'll be talking about chapters 34 through 55, and you can find the live stream on Christy Lewis's channel. I will link that down below in the description box for you. I finally read Wayward, which is book 2 in the Wayward Pines trilogy by Blake Crouch. The first book was Pines, which I buddy read with Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book. We continued that buddy read with this one, and both of us were just a little bit disappointed in this one. It wasn't that it wasn't good. We both agreed a solid 3.5 star rating for this one. The story was good, it was very interesting, but it just didn't have that same pacing as Pines did. Pines, we both read in like 24 hours each. We were just texting each other like crazy. It was so compelling, so thrilling. We loved it. We expected to have that with this one, and it just wasn't there. I actually ended up reading this one over a period of about 4 days. I wasn't compelled to pick it up. Like Pines, when you pick it up, you don't put it down till it's done. That doesn't mean we're not going to continue this series. We absolutely are. I am definitely looking forward to the conclusion of this trilogy with The Town. I will have that sucker here soon. The next book I read was the very first book in the Overwatch series, which is The Hero of Numbani by Nikki Drayden. First, let me say this is my first book I've ever read by Nikki. She has another one called The Prey of Gods that I am absolutely going to be getting my hands on. This book was amazing. If you love the video game Overwatch, I'm sure you loved the little movie shorts that they did to introduce the new heroes as they were added to the game. This is even better in my opinion because it's delving into the history and the origin story of all of the heroes. I'm not exactly sure why they started with Orisa, since she was not even one of the original heroes when the game launched. No big deal. It was a fascinating story. I loved how Nikki incorporated the voice lines from the game into the novel. Even though it is primarily about Orisa, we also saw Lucio make an appearance as well as Doomfist. Orisa is a very compassionate robot who is kind of repurposed by Ify, who lives in Numbani. And Numbani is in Africa. It's a city where humans and Omnics live together in harmony. Doomfist wants to destroy that and take over Numbani. And Ify, who is a 12-year-old roboticist that sees that the robots that are supposed to protect Numbani just aren't capable the way that they were. So she repurposes an OR-15 that she names Orisa to help combat the violence that Doomfist is wreaking. Fantastic story. You could be 12 years old and enjoy it, as well as 43 years old and enjoy it. It just shows one citizen who wants to make her community better. She sees a way to do that, she sets about doing it, and it just made it extremely enjoyable. I loved every minute of it. I sincerely hope Overwatch continues the novel series for each of the heroes. Nikki was a perfect tap to write this because she's a systems analyst. I mean, she is neck deep in code all of the time. As a result, she was able to really provide the depth to this character that it needed. But she also did it in a way that made it easy to understand for someone like me who has absolutely no idea what code is, except that I don't understand it. So this is going to be a huge surprise to a lot of you that have been around the channel for a while, but the audiobook that I'm listening to this week is The Elfstones of Shannara by Terry Brooks. If you've been around the channel since the beginning, you know that I attempted to read the Shannara Chronicles and I just wasn't a fan. If I had read these books back in junior high when I was into Lord of the Rings and all of that sort of material, I bet I would have loved it. But at this stage in the game, I just wasn't a fan of that writing style where it's just takes 30 pages to describe an article of clothing. That style isn't enough to hold my attention very long. I did read the first book in the series. I started The Elfstones. I got about 70 pages in and I just wasn't interested. I had a lot of people watch that video. They don't understand why I didn't get into it. It's one of their favorite books. So then I got to thinking. I discovered audiobooks this year and I thought to myself, you know, what if I don't like reading it, but what if I tried the audiobook with a really good narrator who their method of storytelling was able to hold my attention. So that's what I'm doing. I'm giving the series a second shot on audiobook to see if I like it any better. I'm about 50% of the way in. I'm not the biggest fan of the narrator, but I'm not giving up on him just yet. So that is a wrap on everything I read last week. This coming week, I am extremely excited because Peace Talks will be in these grubby little hands come Tuesday, and I am going to sit and binge that book until it is at the end. Once I get that one finished and I get caught up on The Way of Kings, I'm gonna dive into The Lies of Locke Lamora. So next week is just gonna be as far as reading for me. Whether you've been a subscriber a day, a week, a month since I started my channel, there is one anticipated release that you have been hearing about since this channel was born, and that is Peace Talks by Jim Butcher, which comes out tomorrow. To celebrate the growth of the channel, I am going to do a Peace Talks giveaway. So to enter the giveaway, you need to subscribe to my channel and become a card-carrying member of the Nerdy Narrative family. You need to like this video, and third, leave a comment down below and tell me who is your favorite character in the Dresden universe. Bandit says his favorite character is Murphy because dynamite comes in small packages. This giveaway is also, unfortunately, only for those who live in the continental US. I'm gonna let it run through Friday, July 17th. I'll use YouTube's random comment generator to pick a winner, and then I will be in touch with you to get your mailing address so I can ship this book to you. What did you guys read last week? What are you gonna read this week? Let me know down below, guys. Also, you've got a few more days if you want to submit a question for my 300 plus subscriber Q&A video. I filmed it, but I screwed up settings on either my phone or what was going on with my lighting. It looked terrible. I just hated it. So I'm going to refilm it, but it's gonna be a couple of days before I do that. So that means you've got a few more days to head down to the description box, click that link, and send me a question if you'd like me to answer it in my video. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope you had a fantastic week last week. I hope you have a wonderful week this week. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.